Well, we're getting reports that Marvel, in their infinite wisdom, had to remove gay imagery from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania in order to avoid a ban. And it was just a ban for one country, according to this article, and that country happened to be Kuwait, a really small country that really nobody cares about. But they removed it anyway. Now, this information is actually coming from Victoria Alonzo. So it may or may not be true. It may be just something that she's trying to say in order to burn the company because of her firing. But I would tend to believe that Marvel would do something like this. I mean, they did put the Black Panther mask on Chadwick Boseman's face for the Black Panther poster in order to have the movie released in China, showing, so they wouldn't be showing a black man's face. It wasn't Marvel, but Disney and Lucasfilm shrunk Finn, the black character in The Force Awakens, shrunk him down to be barely visible on the posters so that The Force Awakens could be released in China. So I definitely wouldn't put something like this past them. A report exploring the behind-the-scenes drama behind Victoria Alonzo's untimely exit from Marvel Studios has revealed Disney chose to remove gay imagery from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania ahead of its theatrical debut to avoid a ban. Recently, the entertainment industry as a whole was shocked when longtime Marvel Studios executive Victoria Alonzo was abruptly fired from her high-level position after 17 years. The Hollywood Reporter shared how they heard that Alonzo's producing work on Argentina in 1985 for an outside studio was a key factor behind the decision to fire her. Now, that may have been one of the key factors, but I'm starting to believe that there were many more reasons why they did this. Not to mention the fact that they're trying to cut $5.5 billion from their workforce, and layoffs are just now beginning. So, and it's not just low-level workers that are being released, it's high-level executives. Alonzo's attorney refuted that claim, however, though through Variety, she claimed that the notion of it being related to Argentina in 1985 was absolutely ridiculous. She added that Marvel Studios and Disney have made a really poor decision that will have serious consequences. Now, of course, leave it to a narcissist to say that her being fired is going to have serious consequences for Disney. Like she was the linchpin that made Disney run. Without her, Disney's just going to fall, and actually Disney Marvel, I guess, is just going to crumble and die. I'm pretty sure that without her, it might actually be able to get better because she was the one that was injecting so much of her woke agenda, so much identity politics, so much of this ideology into Marvel. And she was a bully around the studio to make sure that all of her things that she wanted done were implemented. And if it didn't get implemented, you would either lose your job or she would go to the press like she did at the GLAAD Awards and call out Disney CEO Bob Chapek to tell them that they weren't doing enough to fight the parental rights and education bill, or the Don't Say Gay bill, which now has cost Disney their tax-exempt status, their self-governing status, and is forcing them to now pay billions of dollars that they didn't have to pay earlier. And it's all because of her. It's all because of her. So if she thinks that she just got fired for this Argentina crap, she's sorely mistaken. She's probably gotten fired because of how much money she's cost Disney. Also, she was in charge of visual effects, and the visual effects, frankly, for the past movies in recent memory have been terrible, going all the way back to the first Black Panther. The visual effects were horrible. Some of them were worse than movies that were made in the 80s, for God's sakes. The visual effects on the movies from the 80s were better than the movies that we were getting recently from Marvel. But the gay imagery that they had to remove was removed from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania for its release in Kuwait. The new tidbit came about in reference to the recent firing of Marvel Studios executive Victoria Alonzo. In a previous statement from Alonzo's attorney, Patty Glazier, she stated that Alonzo was terminated when she criticized Disney and refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. And they're saying that that one thing is this removing the gay material or the gay imagery. The situation occurred in January when Marvel executives went to an editor to blur out a storefront window that featured the word pride and rainbow decorations. The set piece made it into two brief scenes with Paul Rudd's Scott Lang on a San Francisco street. Alonzo, who oversaw visual effects and post-production at Marvel Studios and is gay herself, refused to have the team make the edit. Marvel then went to an outside vendor to get the changes done. Kuwait also had other changes made to the final film, including the removal of several references to alcohol and even the animated butt cheeks of the character MODOK. So it wasn't removed from the movie that was released in America or any other country, for that matter, just for Kuwait. She refused to do it. This is what they're saying. So that's just one of the things that she's fighting back against for her firing. It's something that really nobody gives a crap about, but it's something that she is making sure gets reported because she is gay and she's a huge advocate for LGBTQ rights. So the thing is that now that she's been let go, now that she's been fired, she is going to do what she did to the people that she worked with when she did work there. She is going to do everything that she can to spread mud all over Disney's face, try to bring them down, try to bully them into submission, probably so she can get a payday. Who knows? I'm sure she'll get a payday anyway, which doesn't make sense because when you get fired, if I were to get fired from a job, maybe I'll get a small severance, but I'm definitely not going to get some huge payday from them just because they fired me. But it doesn't work that way for people in power, unfortunately. And because she is gay, because she's a woman, because she's Latina, she says she's a woman of color, even though she's whiter than I am. She's going to try to do her best to bring the company down. And this is one of the ways. This is just one small thing that she's released now. I'm sure there'll be others that she is going to release in order to do that. I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time.